The Celtics and the Hawks from the Highlight Factory. Josh Smith and Paul Pierce ready to go, and Ray Allen missing his first playoff game in his career, going to the Hall of Fame one day, but not playing in this one, out with the ankle that's kept him out for the last couple of weeks. Joe Johnson, the step-back jumper, the ATL up by 12, and then Ivan Johnson with the steal.
Who's excited about playoff basketball?
We all are. Marvin Williams is with that jam. Atlanta up 14. Worthy of another look. Great teamwork right there. Joe to Marvin. And then it's Rajon Rondo. He had 10 points in the first quarter, but Sam, they were down 15.
Yeah, and Rondo did everything he could to try to keep him in the game, but Boston just came out to such a poor start. It's tough to recover.
Jeff Teague to Josh Smith. That jumper went bones.
Again, time and space, plenty of room for Josh Smith to get that one off. Nice find by Jeff Teague. And then here's Jeff on the attack, using that speed and explosiveness to get into the teeth of the defense.
Atlanta built its largest lead of 19 on that basket by Teague. Then Avery Bradley comes back. Nice feed by Rondo. Bradley reverses at home. Capped an 8-0 run by the Celtics. They were back within 11, but then Josh Smith hits another jumper.
Well, that's what we want to see Josh play. 18 feet in, and he can make that shot consistently.
He had 15 points, 11 rebounds at halftime. Third quarter now. Rondo to Avery Bradley. We have a 10-point game.
Well, nice find there, but Rondo always has his head up. Avery Bradley exploding to the rim. And a corner three by Kirk Heinrich. Keep them at bay. They just had to keep Boston at arm's length. They did a good job of that in the second half.
Great pass by Josh Smith, 1 of 4 assists. Ivan Johnson, a.k.a. 9-5, puts it in. Atlanta back up by that largest lead of 19. Celtics cutting into it. Kevin Garnett got the roll. We got an 8-point game.
That shot cannot be blocked. I've seen that turnaround jump shot for about 17 years. You can't block it.
Bass makes it a 5-point game.
Yeah, you could just feel the Hawks fans just worried that they just could not hang on. And then Jeff Teague hits the biggest shot of the game, I think, in my opinion, for the Hawks. 3-ball there, pump fakes, puts his team up.
And they're right here, 4-point game, under a minute to go. Josh Smith wrestles the loose ball away from Brandon Bass. Bass called for the foul, his 6th of the game by referee Mark Davis. Rajon Rondo comes over, disagrees, gets one tech, then bumps Mark Davis and gets another tech. See right there, he gets the first tech. Now watch Rondo coming over into Mark, bumps him, second tech, the ejection, and Rondo's night was done. Joe Johnson shot both technical free throws, made 1 of 2 to make it a 5-point lead. Then Josh Smith went to the line, made 2 more free throws to take it from a 4-point game to a 7-point game.
Made about Paul Pierce being one of the all-time greats as a playmaker at the small forward position.
Here's grabs the tip and sidewinds into the lane to lay it up and in for the game about Bradley.
Defensively, he's special and just become a much better all-around player. And how about the truth? Paul Pierce getting off to an excellent start here.
Defending Pierce off the ball. Bradley to Pierce, curling off the screen, into the lane, fouled, banks it in, count the bucket. He's off to a tremendous start.
Paul Pierce is and how focused he's going to be. A beautiful slice there between the two defenders. We want to play fast. We want to play early in the shot clock and put pressure on Boston's transition defense.
Why not? Paul Pierce fading.
There, quarter. And this man right here, Paul Pierce, has been in control.
Yeah, when you get it off the back rim like that and in, he is in control. Pierce circles, scans, slashes, pulls up, pivots, and hits. On down with another opportunity.
Not good spacing offensively on that possession. Oh, my goodness. Is that what we call the shooter's touch? Larry Brewer, if he had hair, he'd be pulling it out right now because they offensively have gotten very stagnant. And
Pierce is going right to the rack to draw the contact. He laid it in.
It ain't down the stretch.
Johnson double, ball deflected. Pierce with it up the floor to Bradley. Back to Pierce for the two-hand jam. And the scream of exclamation as Boston takes a 4-point lead. Crowd is stunned here in Atlanta with 3:51 remaining. Beatrice the rebound. And again, Atlanta is way out of sorts offensively, but this man is not. Pierce comes down and rips a cold-blooded three right down the middle. 32 points, 13 rebounds for Pierce, and Boston has taken the lead of 7.
The question is, does the truth deliver the dagger? with these last two possessions in the open floor with the finish. And then the cold-blooded three in the open floor.
Pierce wide open, knocks down the jump shot.
How about the patience and the poise by Paul Pierce? Already 11 points here in the fourth quarter. And I tell you what, this guy's silky smooth with the ball in his hands. It just seems time and time again to make the right decisions. And there's that dagger, the three. That could be the telltale sign if the Celtics are able to hold on. We know you got heart, young fella. The truth.
Up since then.
The great ones, they understand the sense of urgency, and they seize the moment. And Paul Pierce all over this one. Did he just hit him with a T-bow?
I think he did.
He just hit him with a T-bow. Still a lot of time left, though, folks, in this game. 7 points. It seems like a lot, but a minute 15 in an NBA game is an eternity. Yeah, he hit him with the T-bow. Have you ever pulled off a T-bow like on the golf course?
Thank you so much. And Paul, after struggling in game one, how were you able to have your way here? 36 points, 14 boards.
I wanted to be aggressive from the start. I knew I was going to play a lot of minutes tonight. It was going to come to me a lot. And, you know, being the team captain, leader of this team, that's what expected of me, especially with Rondo out, Ray out. It was needed from me.
Did you feel that sense of urgency down a game with your starting backcourt out?
Oh, yeah, definitely. You know, we've been with our backs against the wall before. We know how to grind it out, dig our teeth into it, and try to find a way to win. And that's what we did tonight. We were down a lot of part of the game, but then we fought, and came back.
What do you take from this as you head home to game 3?
Well, a lot of confidence. We did a lot of good things. Got to clean up a few things on the transition. You know, we turned the ball, gave him some easy baskets. We'll get Rondo back. You know, hopefully we can hold down our home court before we have to come back to Atlanta.
Thanks a lot. Congratulations.
Thank you, Tracy. And so, Greg, things get really interesting now as they head to game 3 and head home to meet Rajon Rondo, the leading playmaker in the league.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see if Ray Allen somehow can get somewhat healthy to give the Celtics a run. But that man right there, Paul Pierce, with a brilliant performance. He hit him with the T-bow, ladies and gentlemen.
For Tracy Wolfson, Greg Anthony, I'm Kevin Calabro. Down to our studios, Rick Kamla standing by.
Opening round, game 3 between the Celtics and Hawks, this time in Boston. Let's start with some roll call here. For Atlanta, Josh Smith not playing due to that strained tendon in his left knee. Ray Allen back for the first time in the series, playing through bone spurs in his right ankle. Rajon Rondo was back, suspended game 2 after making contact with the official at the end of game 1. Rondo early on, the dimes start falling to Avery Bradley for 3, and it's an early Celtic lead, 13-11. Joe Johnson had a big first half, 12 points before halftime. Here, the step back 3. Atlanta up by 5. Here comes Ray Allen, though, and Boston 0 from outside the arc in game 1. Can they get something going here with Allen back in the game for the first time since April 10th, his first action, and he wastes no time. Mid-range jumper there. Cuts that lead for the Hawks down to 2. Tracy McGrady got a lot of minutes with Josh Smith being out. Baseline for the two-hand flush. Watch this. He can still get up. Little double pump there, too, for T-Mac. Rajon Rondo to Kevin Garnett. Tough inside. The Celtics have the lead. On top, 40-38 at the half. To the third quarter we go. Rondo to KG again, the layup. Celtics building a bigger lead. Then off the steal for Atlanta. Jeff Teague. The highlight. Boom! Throws it down. One more look at that. The lead is cut down to 1 for the Celtics. Joe Johnson then, watch this, gets some space. Gets the jumper. Johnson had a game-high 29 points in this one. Rondo. Hesitation layup there. Boston maintaining a lead and trying to build on it. More Rondo. He had a huge game in this one. Draws the D. Out to Pierce for the 3, who was cold shooting in the game, but he hits that one. Pierce only 3 for 12 shooting in the game, but had 21 points, 14 for 14 at the line. Then here, Rondo hits the reverse after Pierce forced the steal. One more look at this. Great move there by Rondo to avoid Jeff Teague's block attempt. KG inside with red shirts all around him. Doesn't matter. 8-point lead, Boston in control, but the Hawks don't give up. Willie Green in the corner for 3. The lead is down to 5, 80-75. More Hawks as they go on an 8-0 run in the final 4 minutes. In fact, it was a 15-4 run in the final 6 minutes. Joe Johnson stepped back right there. Then watch this. Paul Pierce called for the offensive foul, pushing off on Collins. When we look at it, no question about it. So it goes back to Joe Johnson again. Under 90 ticks to go. Boom. Hits that one. We're tied at 80. McGrady to Green for the win. No. Garnett the rebound. He calls timeout. And so the Celtics, one more chance. 4 seconds left. Paul Pierce shuffles his feet here to get away. For the defender, Johnson. Doesn't matter. Can't hit. And we go to overtime. One more look at it. It was that close despite the great defense by Johnson. Now the Celtics, ice cold. They missed their final 7 shots in the fourth quarter, but they heat up in overtime. Pierce, the jumper there. I mentioned 21 points for him. Joe Johnson, the floater inside. The Hawks come right back. Pull within 2. Rondo, 7th career triple-double in the game. Fakes the drive here, misses, but KG is there. 20 points, 13 rebounds. One more look at this. Oh, very nice. Under 30 seconds to go. Joe Johnson misses the 3. Atlanta just 2 for 11 from the field in overtime as Boston holds on for the win. 90-84. Rondo, the triple-double. 17 points, 14 rebounds, 12 assists as the Celtics have a 2-1 lead.
Josh Smith back after missing a game with that knee injury, missed game 3. Overtime loss for the Hawks. Al Horford back from the torn left pectoral muscle that required surgery to repair. Rondo to Kevin Garnett, off to an early start, 13-6, and then Bones Rondo with a steal here.
Well, such quick hands. He's always aware of where the basketball is. Great finish on the other end, and then takes the old flopperoni, tries to get a late call, does not get that.
Al Horford did not start, came off the bench, and right there picks up the offensive foul. Elbow meet Greg Steamsma's face.
Oh, a little bottled up energy there from Horford, letting Steamsma have it.
I heard a tweet, get Paul Pierce to the line. He would miss the free throw, but I'm not mad at him. Boston led by 8, and here's Kevin Garnett going against Al Horford and beating him, Bones.
Well, Al Horford, welcome back to the NBA. And, oh, by the way, you're going to play against Hall of Famer Kevin Garnett in the post. So
yeah, have fun with that.
Not able to stick with KG on that particular play, and then Paul Pierce coming down to pull up 3 over Tracy.
Dell, here's another one.
Loose ball, 50-50 ball. The Celtics won the hustle game all night, fast breaks, second chance points. And then look at Rondo. Patience, waits for his shooter to get in his sight, lines it up. Pierce knocks down another 3.
51-27 Boston, and then Joe Johnson to Josh Smith. Joe's got it. Josh is going to drive baseline, and this is, as you can see, Paul Pierce down on the floor, holding his left knee. He would go to the locker room. Kind of pushed up from behind right there.
Yeah, highlight for Josh on the play. Low light for Celtics fans is Paul's leg just gets caught up behind him in a couple different ways, gets bumped.
But Paul Pierce came out, proving that he is fine.
No chair this time, Rick.
Easy for me to say.
Chair,
right?
no chair for him.
Boston up 77-43. And then it's Rondo to Kevin Garnett. Dell, he had quiet numbers, but a jumper right here.
Well, he's the defensive catalyst for that team. He's got so many weapons on that team. He understands when they need his offense. He can stop the ball and protect the rim.
13 points and 5 rebounds for KG in this game. Jeff Teague to Al Horford. And Al Horford in his return, 12 and 5 in just over 20 minutes, but it was a 29-point game. How about a Ray 3?
Well, any kind of room right there. Ray trying to find his rhythm. Looks like he has it back, steps into that 3 ball, and then Ray giving the favor back to Rondo. And the okie doke goes with the behind-the-back fake. Nobody back there. Joe Johnson doesn't know what to do. He is not a big man to protect the rim, and Rondo with a great finish.
Dill, he was just showing off right there.
He was. He does it every game.
Look at Rajon Rondo's numbers. 20 points, 16 assists, and 3 steals not shown on the board. Boston has won 3 in a row over the Hawks after losing Game 1. The Celtics win 101-79. They lead the series 3-1.
The 4-5 matchup in the Eastern Conference. The Celtics looking to close it out back in Atlanta with Game 5. Meanwhile, the Hawks trying to force a Game 6 back in Boston. Here in the first quarter, Rondo over to Paul Pierce, and he drives down the lane. Boston out to an early 6-point advantage. And they weren't done. Celtics came out red hot. Kevin Garnett, the long two to beat the shot clock. 21-15 as we move to the second. Now it's Marvin Williams responding for the Hawks from downtown. Here's Brandon Bass. Turns the corner, goes baseline, and gets above the rim. 37-34 Boston. Al Horford got the start in this game here. He kicks it to Joe Johnson to tie it, and Johnson buries it late in the first half. Jeff Teague then, a pull-up three. Atlanta led by 3. But there was still enough time. Rajon Rondo. The three, you betcha. He had 13 points, 12 assists. But despite that triple, the Hawks closed the first half on a 22-12 run. Now midway through the third, it is Josh Smith there for the one-handed putback. He had 13 points, 16 rebounds. Jeff Teague, the skip. Marvin Williams wide open, 61-54. Doc Rivers not liking what he's seeing. But the Celtics would respond. Rondo off target. Ryan Hollins the board. Gives it to Rondo. A 10-1 run at the end of the third for the Celtics. They got within 4. Now in the fourth. Little transition hoops. Rondo returns the favor to Ryan Hollins. We're tied at 68. Back on the other end of the floor. Josh Smith out of the perimeter. One-on-one with King G. And the high arcing shot falls in. 79-74. Josh Smith now doing the distributing to Al Horford. He gets the deuce, 81-76. Ray Allen on the floor, coming off the bench for the Celtics. He contributed with 15 points, 5 of 10 from the floor. That tied the game at 83. Another guy that's returned from injury. How about Al Horford responding big time here? That tough floater makes it 87-83. Now Boston down by 4. Making 1. Paul Pierce, a big-time triple. He had 16 points. Still a 1-point game. It's Rondo. Intercepts the inbounds. Under 10 seconds to go. Boston down by 1, looking for the game winner and to end the series, but Rondo dribbles it off his foot, and it goes out of bounds. Time expires. The Hawks hang on to force Game 6 of this series. 87-86 the final score. Game 6 will go north to Boston Thursday night. It is Game 6, and the series has shifted back to Boston after Atlanta won at Game 5. Paul Pierce and company looking to close out the series and advance to play the Sixers, who won earlier in the night. Meanwhile, the Hawks hoping to force a Game 7, which would be back down south in Atlanta. Here is Al Horford missing, but Josh Smith is there for the tip-in. Hawks up by 1 midway through the first. Later in the first, great ball movement by the Celtics. Paul Pierce hits 3 of his 18 points, also had 7 assists. Time winding down to the first quarter. Tracy McGrady drives, kicks. Kirk Heinrich drills it. Hawks up by 4 as we head to the second. More from the ATL in the second. Tracy McGrady over to Marvin Williams from downtown. He had 16 points and 8 rebounds. Back on the other end of the floor, Rondo over to Paul Pierce. The layup and an opportunity for one more. He would make the free throw. Boston gets within 1 at 31-30. Hawks miss, and here come the Celtics. Rajon Rondo gets the easy lay-in. Fooling the D. Hawks want to travel? No, sir. On to the third quarter. Boston up 53-48, but the Hawks cut into the deficit. Marvin Williams from downtown, 2-point game. Off the bench, Ray Allen, corner 3 ball, bucket. 65-57. Boston in control. But here comes Joe Johnson from the land of 3. Over 2 defenders. It's a 2-point game. Time winding down to the third, under 5 seconds to go. Rajon Rondo to beat the buzzer, the step back. You betcha! Ruled a long 2-pointer. He had 14 points and assists. On to the fourth quarter we go. Boston leading by 7. Kevin Garnett on a 7-0 run, 74-65. On the other end, Josh Smith over to Al Horford, who struggled to start but finished strong. The alley-oop, he had 15 points. and the Hawks are back within 1. Josh Smith driving the lane, accelerating. Hawks up 1. Kevin Garnett got it going here. Gets the feed from Ray Allen. Garnett with 30 seconds to go. A high arcing shot. He had 28 points, 14 rebounds, and 5 blocked shots. Other end of the floor. Josh Smith, the long jumper, not even close, no good. Ray Allen will be fouled, split 2 free throws. So now, Atlanta down by 2. Joe Johnson drives, shot no good. It is blocked away by Paul Pierce. Check out the defensive effort. So it's 81-79. Al Horford with 3.1 goes to the line. He misses the first free throw. He would hit the second to make it a 1-point game. Paul Pierce at the line makes the first and makes the second. So now, Atlanta down by 3, 1.3 to go. Jeff Teague can't get the shot off, and Boston hangs on to win it and eliminates the Hawks. Boston is moving on. Atlanta 9 of 10 in the game from the free throw line. Their only miss was Boston.